and grow from it if you choose to do that. And so could not be more proud of the way this team responded. Couldn't be more proud with the way we defended. That was something that we wanted. Our two focuses were to defend and take care of the ball. And we did an amazing job of those two things today. So, and we got contributions from a lot of people. So just really, really proud of this group. And as we continue to, go through the grind of the season.
How hard will it be to take Agnes Eminopu out of the starting lineup after a performance like that?
Agnes is just the ultimate glue, the ultimate warrior. She impacts winning in so many ways, and it was a unique circumstance as throughout this year. I mean, she had the injury that came up out of nowhere. It wasn't even an injury, just an infection in her finger, and so she has really started to get back into the swing of things and the flow of things. But Agnes's maturity, competitive spirit, toughness, grittiness, just impacts the game. And so proud of her. I haven't even got to really look at the stat sheet, but she had 10 rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds. Incredible. 5 assists, 0 turnovers. Agnes is a high-level winner.
Madison had a really good game as well. She joined the 1,000-point club. So I've got 3 players who have at least hit that barrier in their career. Talk about how Madison played in that and just seeing her join that club.
Well, Madison Connor had a heck of a week. She graduated and walked and got to go through that process, which is really special. And then to be a part of a 1,000-point club, that's hard to get into. And especially those first 2 years, she didn't have a huge role at Arizona. She played. But Madison loves the game of basketball. She works at it really hard. And so excited. She played really well, shot the ball really well. I think our team did a great job finding her. She got off 10 threes, and I would say all 10 of those were clean, good looks. And so happy for her to just get back in rhythm. But there was contributions from everybody. I thought Sedona and Haley obviously did what they do. DeAsia was a great spark plug. So it was neat to see contributions from everybody. But again, our team, we got to be elite defensively. We spent a lot of time and energy on that this week, and probably kind of went back to the drawing board of square one and just remembered our fundamentals.
What was the difference defensively other than just kind of that refresher of fundamentals?
Yeah, obviously the reps that we spent on it, but this is a mature group that wants to compete at the highest level and wants to have a chance to compete for a Big 12 title, wants to have a chance to host NCAA tournament games. And so when you go play against South Carolina, there's a lot of lessons that you learn. They are the pinnacle of our sport. And as talented as they are as basketball players, I walked away there with their mental preparation, their focus, their toughness. Between the years, that South Carolina is elite there. And so for our kids to kind of see that and go, okay, we got to continue to grow. That game served its purpose. And the purpose was go test yourself against the best team in the country. And we got to do that, and I want to thank them for that. I mean, a lot of today's, the way we played was due to last Sunday.
How much time did you spend? I mean, you don't want to look back, but you want to learn those lessons. And then how much time did you spend on that film before you kind of turned the page?
A good chunk, a really good chunk, because there's so many lessons in that game. There really, truly is. From what we need to do basketball-wise and off the court, what we have to do mentally. And you got to, I mean, the South Carolina thing, you got to feel it. You got to see it. You got to taste it. And so our kids, because we are old, sometimes those games can rock you in a bad way. This game, it rocked us in a good way. And I was hopeful that we would respond that way. And it was easy to see. You saw a group that played 40 minutes of basketball on both sides of the court at a high level. So just proud of this group.
Yeah, and you got to be pumped about the accountability that each player was taking. You didn't just win by 35 points. It was like 51.
Yeah, you're spot on. There was the accountability level. There is a group of these kids that want to play after college basketball at a high level. And they know there's things they have to continue to work on and grow on. And then collectively, this group wants a chance to make a deep run this season. And so the accountability that this group had and accepted this week And I told them at halftime, I told them after, I'm so proud of them. And we challenged a couple of these kids this week to continue to improve. And when you hold young people accountable, sometimes they respond, sometimes they don't. That group in this locker room responded.
Well, and you could talk about the accountability and just how this team's come together. They were still playing as tough as they could in the fourth quarter. You just saw them cheering for each other. Just kind of talk about the character of this team a little bit more.
Yeah, the character of this team's special, and we've been watching. You know, there was that initial phase where you don't totally know as you put a team together, especially in the portal era, and you got off to this fantastic start. And in a healthy way, sometimes you lose sight of staying humble and staying hungry as you go. And it was things were almost coming too easy for this group. And so the South Carolina deal was a reset, and it really was in the best way possible. And we learned those lessons, and now you got a chance to put together another string of games if we do what we're supposed to do. And so this group's special. They're special as leaders. They're special in the ability. They want to be coached. They want to be challenged because they have big goals, both individually and as a team.
You were playing in the Maggie Dixon Classic. This is your second experience for that. Can you talk about what that means to you, what that means to the program, and women's basketball in general?
Yeah, so, I mean, what's special about the Dixon family is it's way bigger than women's basketball. It's college basketball, and Coach Dixon it has had a huge impact on the men's side. And then you got Maggie, who was one of the rising stars on the women's side. And so that family has had a huge impact on college basketball. And so one, to just continue her legacy is really special, and to honor her and her family, especially while Coach Dixon's here and what he means to this school and this campus and college basketball. So we'll do it every year, and it's a neat way to honor them and honor Maggie.
I'm assuming your parents approve of the big performance. Did you lean on them a little bit after the South Carolina game?
One, it's neat. My family's here, you guys. Really special for me, and my dad was a long-time veterinarian up there in the Northwest, and so when you grow up on the farm and around that culture, you don't really take vacations, you don't get away, and so it's neat. They haven't been able to catch a lot of my coaching career, and so they're here right now, and they're enjoying this, and we got them an Airbnb, and we're going to see how long they can stay. They're hoping to stay for the season, but really they haven't been away from the farm much more than 3-4 days because you can't. And so it's really, really special for me and my family to have them here and get to see these games.
You were talking earlier about individual players who kind of have really nice names. Say Donovan Hunter had her highest scoring game in several weeks. Just talk a little about her and what she wanted that maybe you kind of challenged to take that next step.
Yeah, Dono is one of the most humble, team-oriented players that I've ever coached. And, you know, there's, the journey of a season. So you got these kids that will come in and you have high expectations, but learning a new system and getting plugged into a new team with new coaches, with new teammates, in theory, everybody wants it to happen instantly and be seamless, but reality is it's not. It's not that easy. And so Dono, especially at the point guard spots, like a quarterback, that you can't just drop them in and make a seamless transition. And so Donovan's played a huge role in helping us get off to a 10-1 start. At the same time, she's working through her process and her own journey. And one thing that I'm really proud of, Donovan has stayed in the lab and continued to work and been coachable and gets her film sessions. And so I am so happy for that kid. How many threes did she hit tonight? She went 2 for 2. I love it. 8 points, 4 assists, 4 boards. Had a great floor game. And so we need Donovan Hunter for us to play at the high level we want to, and for us to reach our goals. Donovan has to be a huge part of this, and she's going to be. And so proud of her. I'm excited. You know, sometimes you don't always get rewarded for your hard work. Sometimes you just keep grinding, keep chipping away, even when you don't see results. But they'll eventually come, and it's a great lesson for young people to learn.
How valuable do you think it is having veteran guards like Haley and Madison kind of mentor
Incredible. I'm going to start with Haley. Haley's, you guys, from the day that she stepped foot on campus, and this goes way back to her training for the Olympics, and she's doing 3-a-days to get ready and is locked in. And I told her, don't worry about any TCU stuff. You worry about your journey with the Olympics. And to watch that unfold, and then when that's done, and watch her turn the page and pour into our team and our program, like, I literally can't describe how mature Haley Van List's work ethic is, humble spirit, her pouring into the team. I mean, she wants to have a special individually, obviously, but she wants this team to max out. And so that kid has not had a day off. And what I mean by that, her ability to mentally bring it every practice, every workout, every game. Haley's one of those kids, she doesn't have a day off. It's incredible. And so for our team to watch, for Donald to get to see that, and then Madison's different. Madison, she is very focused on her repetition, her training that she does. She gets it in every day, and she is locked in on Madison Connor, which people get to see Madison's. So it's in a different way. They each have a great impact. But to have veteran guards like that in college basketball is special, and it's what you need to be elite.
This is always kind of a weird time of year. You had a week break, you'll play a couple games, you have another week break, and then you've got a conference game coming up here pretty quickly. So how do you kind of manage the schedule and deal with the time off and the time on?
Yeah, you nailed it. It's very awkward. It's choppy. You know, you got the finals week where you're not allowed to play a game. You get a couple games. We actually start league December 21st, so before Christmas break, and then they'll go from Orlando home. They'll all spread out, and then we'll come back and have practice on the 26th and right on the back end of that start league. And so it's a tricky time period, which everybody's going through it, you know, and so it's one of those, you got to stay locked in. They handled finals week, as you can see, as well as possible, went out and performed. As coaches, you're always a little anxious when you send them home for Christmas break, and you want them to recharge mentally. At the same time, when kids are home, you know, you have no control over what they're doing in their day-to-day schedule. And so, but this group's old. I trust this group a lot, and I believe this group will do what they're supposed to do. So when we come back, we continue on this trajectory. So it's just part of college basketball. Every program's going through it, and there's nothing you can do to change it.
Any final question for Coach? All right.